Yo, what's good? It's Skano. So in Dallas, a young white male tried to go up in a Hispanic church with an AR. I don't know if it was an AK, AR-15 with an assault rifle. Apparently, though, he was spotted at the door, and they were able to lock the doors before he could gain access. Who knows exactly? I think that had he really been on intent on committing violence, violence would have been committed. You got an AR. AR is knocking down doors. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what type of AR. In my experience, like AKs, they going through doors. So had he really wanted to gain, access and cause some havoc, woo woo. So a disaster was averted, but okay, this was in Bama, right? Dylan Roof, or was that Texas? I'm down bad for forgetting what state this occurred in. That black church where like 10, 11 members were murdered. Dylan Roof, the little white boy that went up inside the church and shot, and then got Burger King. How long y'all gonna wait before y'all get security? That's what I want to know. Especially these black churches. The times we living in, I mean, not even, I mean, we know it's been bombings, church bombings since way back, you know. So this is not some new phenomenon. It's only a matter of time, and I hate to say this, but it's the reality. It's only a matter of time before this occurs again. Before somebody go up in another church, whether it's a black church, but you know how these things, it's usually a black church. And cause havoc. And it could be averted, man. All these churches should have security. It's like I said, especially the black churches. There should not be a black church in America that don't have some type of, even if it's just some knockoff, or somebody just sitting there with the toolie on them. Just making sure everything is everything, because like I said, the times we live in, you can't even go to a goddamn Arab store without security cameras, and somebody in there, got a pipe. Trust and believe that. Any facility that you enter. Why is it that these churches just wide open? Now, if you think about it, that's a sweet lick, man. And just the way my mind, sometimes I can channel certain, that's a sweet lick. Going, money, jewelry, key fobs, it's safe in there, I'm sure. Most of these churches, you know what I'm saying, when they collecting tithes, I don't know how they operate and how they move around with how they do, but I'm saying that's a sweet lick. Go in there and lay that down, and what's to stop you? Let alone, if you want to go in there and just commit mass murder. Because these churches, and I haven't been to church in a long time. I haven't been to a church in a while, but I haven't been to a church ever in my life that has security. Now I'm talking about these power churches. I don't know what y'all be thinking, like, it's safety in numbers, or y'all feel like, and listen, man, I have a tremendous amount of faith in God, but let's be real here. There is no divine intervention, right? We got free will on this planet until which time he come back and wipe all this clean. Until then, though, we got to use common sense and be vigilant. So I don't think it's wise to just have these churches wide open like this, where any and everybody can just come strolling in. Now, I recall as a kid, man, the churches I came up in, anybody could come in and fellowship. You didn't have to be a member. It didn't matter what race you were. And like I said, I went to Baptist, Pentecost, like black churches, but They didn't turn, like, anybody could walk in that door. You could be thugged out, you know, and they would embrace you. They welcome all of God. But, I mean, we have to employ some common sense now. And it's not having a lack of faith or none of that, man. We see what's going on in this world. It ain't got nothing to do with God. You know, so God wants us to use our common sense. And like I said, man, these churches wide open, you know. And it's only a matter of time, man. I hate to say that, but I truly believe it's only a matter of time before this occurs again. And it was a church in New York, a pastor and his wife. Now, it turns out dude was a shyster. You know, he was a wolf in sheep's clothing, so to speak, you know, trapping on the side of woo-woo. But there was this power church in New York. And the pastor and his wife sitting up in church, you know, with $1 million worth of ice, you know, between the two of them. And it was commonplace. Probably somebody in the church set the play up, you know. But like I said, dude was known around the city for, he really was a street nigga playing a pastor. But the point I'm trying to make is armed assailants went up in that church, and you would think him being a street dude, for real, that he would, you know, ran up in there, laid him down, swipe, him and his wife, and got off with a, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, close to $1 million worth of jewelry and whatever else they could get. And if you think about it, I mean, all these power churches, and I you know, I see them here and there. You know, I'm an observant person, man, and I don't have no thoughts of, you know, on no grimy shit, but it crossed my mind, you know, what's stopping anybody from going up inside of these churches and just having their way? You know what I'm saying? You might have a couple street members in there that might be, but it's wide open. So, like I said, man, I believe, like I said, this was a Hispanic church, but y'all know how these things work. We not gonna make it a racial issue, but let's be real. A majority of these mass shooters be white people. I mean, it is what it is. You know, white angst. When shit start getting hectic in America, you know, they be on some purge type shit. You know, the thing with niggas, when we get frustrated, we go outside, we shoot another black person or crash out on another black person. This is the distinct difference between, and I think it's something to do with that Willie Lynch shit. You know, we got it ingrained in our mind. We can only crash out on each other. And like I said, I'm not promoting no violence. We just chopping it. We'll crash out on each other, man, over the dumbest shit. You know what I'm saying? And we'll keep it localized, centralized in our communities. When they flash out and when they click, they going to Walmart. They gonna find a black, you know what I'm saying? They gonna find a location where there's some minorities. They gonna crash out on us, you know, or Latinos, you know what I'm saying? Or whoever, you know, is accessible. Like you know, what happened at the Walmart shooting. Dude researched it. You know what I'm saying? Did his back, he looked for a location that was urbanized, meaning where black people. I'm getting off track, but the point I'm trying to make, man, y'all being lackadaisical. And like I said, just because it's a house of God does not mean that you automatically have some veil of protection. That's not the way it works, and y'all know that. I'm pretty sure a lot of them Jewish people that got flamed and gassed to death in them concentration camps, I'm pretty sure they prayed to God for deliverance. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to shade God. That's just, it's free will here, man. We on our own until he come back to wash all this clean. Until then, we on our own for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta be vigilant and use common sense, man. And I'm mainly speaking about these black churches. So the times where it is what it is, man. Them doors got to be locked. You know, y'all need key cards, security, the whole setup, man. Because if you're thinking about it, and I know the church is not a business, But it really is. It really is a business. For all intents and purposes, it operates like a business. So at the end of the day, man, like I said, it won't be the last time something like this happened. How long y'all gonna wait? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna wait until the next time? You know, X amount of people get murdered in cold blood. You know, so people got to be proactive and assertive in regard to these things, man. Just because you in the church and you a Christian and you live your life righteous, and don't mean that you can't, you know what I'm saying, be militant too. You have to employ some militants in the midst of that also, man. Nothing wrong with, you know, some of God's greatest apostles were also warriors. So these are the times we living in. Man, you know, I don't want to just go on and on about it, you know. But like I said, man, like I said, much as I hate to say it, I just know one day I'm going to come across on my news feed such and such search, such and such church, and such city, you know. So, like I said, we got to be more proactive, man. And I don't believe God has a problem with, you know, you knocking the hat off. I'm talking about, you know, church members, people of God. You know, that's not murder. You know, that's not. So, wake up, man. Wake up. Because like I said, man, the times we living in, we do... It's way too much going on for people to be in La La Land. And that goes for the church members, too. 216 Scano. You already know.